All right, let's move on to the Monday Nighter, 8:15 p.m. This is going to be a beauty. Bears, Rams. Rams open up -6.5. That's dropped to 5.5, even 5 at some books. The total opened up at 47. That's down to between 45.5 and 44.5, depending on where you shop. Bears 5-1, 3-0 on the road. Rams 4-2, 2-0 at home. Supposedly, the flight back from Carolina was a lot of ass slapping and booze. Bears won 23-16 at Carolina, now lead the NFC North in their best start since 2012. They are also 3-0 on the road for the first time since their 2006 Super Bowl season. The defense looks very, very strong, and the offense looks weak. Defense forced 3 turnovers, sacked Bridgewater 4 times, limited Carolina to 303 yards, allowed just 3 of 13 third down conversions, held Bridgewater to a season-low 216 yards, picked him off twice. Khalil Mack had a sack, giving him 3 in the past 2 games. And the Bears' offense looked terrible. They managed 63 yards on the ground, and coming into that game, the Panthers had one of the worst run defenses in the league. Montgomery ran 19 times for 58 yards. Bears had just 126 yards rushing, over the past 3 games. They also lost left guard James Daniels to a season-ending pectoral injury. Foles went 23 of 39 for 198 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. And Deion Bush is questionable. He's the only one on the injury report. Rams are coming off disappointing 24-16 loss at San Francisco. They managed just 102 yards of offense in the first half. Goff went 19 of 38 for 198 yards, 2 TDs, 1 pick. Henderson ran 14 times for 88 yards. McVay ran the ball only 9 times on 21 plays in the first half, and it made no sense. His receivers were doing nothing. They were averaging like over 5 yards a carry. I don't know what McVay was doing. Higbee caught 3 passes for 56 yards. The wide receivers were unable to gain yards. Brandon Staley's defense gave up 291 yards, 3 touchdowns before halftime. 0 sacks for Donald. Didn't even generate a quarterback pressure from their edge rushers. Defensive line was strong against a run. Alrighty, here we go. Bears, Rams, Monday Nighter. Take it away, Bebsy.
It's another difficult spot in that I think both of these teams are worse than their record shows. With regards to how the Rams offense played against San Francisco, you got to remember that McVay is from Shanahan's coaching tree. So a lot of what they do in Los Angeles is what Kyle just has been doing for years. So San Francisco would be better prepared for that offense than other teams might be. So this is a tough spot because the Bears are obviously a very talented defense and they have a terrible offense. And the Rams are a little more balanced. But for me, it feels like another coin flip. It just feels like another – I don't know what to expect out of the Rams. They've been up and down, but – at least the Bears have been a little more consistent. They've slogged out tight games. Their offense is atrocious, but their defense has been keeping them in games that they shouldn't have been in. But to me, even with the points, I'm not too excited about this. If anything, I lean Bears because of the points.
I think the Bears are the look here, but I want to pump the brakes because I feel like I might be doing this just because of what I saw in that Niners game. I just think this is too many points. The Bears are – the Rams also – I know they're 2-0 at home, but they haven't looked good there. That game against the Giants was crazy.
No, and you got to remember some of these W's for the Rams have come against pretty bad teams. And the Bears have surprised me. Let's put it that way. Their defense is playing lights out. Even under Foles, they're still bad offensively. I lean Bears because of the points. There's too many points here in this, but it's not enticing enough for me to jump on.
What do you think of this total? This total opening up at 47, now down to between 45.5 and 44.5. Unders are 2-0 so far. on
Yeah,
Monday.
I think you might have lost if you would have got in at like 47. I feel like where it opened, I feel like that jump in. But now that it's gotten a little lower, I would still lean under, but we might have missed the boat on that.
I think that was well put. And I'd rather have the 6.5. And it's too bad that I didn't. Dennis says under is still the play.
I agree that it's still in play. I just would have been a lot happier getting in at 47.
Sitting at 45 right now. Rams do nothing with their wide receiving.
I'm still waiting for them to get Cam Akers involved. He did absolutely nothing against San Francisco, but everything I heard out of Rams camp was Akers was lighting it up, and this guy was going to be a huge deal year one. And look, he looked great down in Florida before his coaching change, and so he's done sweet FA so far.
The Rams defense.
The Rams are so up and down. Again, lean Bears, not excited. Lean under, wish I would have got in earlier.
The defensive line was so strong against the run, against the Niners, allowed 3.3 yards per carry. And probably that was effective when Mostert got hurt. But if the Rams can be effective with a 4-man rush, can stop the run with 4 men, and always put 7 in the secondary, I don't see how the Bears are going to get points. And this Rams offense seems to be – I mean, look at Goff, 19 of 38 for 198 yards. This Bears defense is just running. I think the under is still in play. And my voice just broke there. And I'm excited to bet it. I want to move on the Bears and the under.
Wow.
I'll move on the Bears. And I'm going to. I'm moving on the Bears and the under 45. Intex says Rams played one good team and lost. Alrighty. Double up for me on Monday. I like it. And I hope I'm not getting too high on the Bears. Kind of concerned that I'm doing that. All right, Bebsy, that is our entire breakdown. You have a couple decisions that you wanted to wait on and then make. Let's go over those 2 spots and then decide what we think our best bet is. And also, let's just do that. Let's review our action, decide best bets. But afterwards, right now, Bebsy, there was 2 spots that I have question marks beside, I believe. One is the Steelers. Steelers at Titans. Do you want to sit on that for longer?
No, I'm gonna take the Steelers at -2 against the Titans.
Moving on, the Steelers at -2. So let me see what juice that is and where you're booking it. Oh, there it is. Steelers -2 is at -109. That's available at Bet America and Bet Rivers. So let's get it. Steelers. Bebsy -2 at -109. All righty. Steel Curtain's happy with that. Birdie said Jimmy Bears are traveling for 2nd week in a row to the West Coast. That 5.5 line is fishy. Yeah, speaking of that, with the way the Rams defend the run, and they can defend it so easily against the Bears, how are the Bears going to get any points? Bebsy, can you answer that for me before I make a $200 mistake? How are the Bears going to get any points?
I don't have that answer for you. That's why I don't know. I don't have that answer for you. I really feel, especially with the injuries on the interior of the Bears line, and Aaron Donald seldom will have 2 down weeks in a row. So look for him to get all up in Foles' business.
I guess I just don't know how they're going to get any points. I don't think the Rams can get a ton of points, but can the Bears get to 19.5? That's their team total. Ron Walsack liking it says Bebsy may want to buy a new tree saw with his Steelers winnings. I think I know that we cut up these games and probably gonna have to move on to that comment of that video cut because I think Birdie's right. The more I'm sitting here going, why would they be such big dog? You know what? I'm only gonna move on the under. I'm only gonna move on the under, and I also question how they're gonna get to 20 points. I just don't see how they're going to. I think the Bears team total under 19.5 has got to be in play.
Not Flush Allen says, you trust Big Dick to beat the Rams? Nah, I don't. That's why I'm staying the hell away from this game.
Okay. Mr. Nodell says, sleep on it. You got time. I don't see how they get points. Okay, Birdie, thank you. Birdie's my guardian angel. I'm going to take off the Bears, but I just don't see how they score at all. So I am going to move on the under 45 and the Bears team total under 19.5. Alrighty. Okay. So that's done. Bebsy, was there any other spot that you were thinking of that I had a question beside?
Probably the Bills first half, which I am going to go with. Bills first half -6.5.
Oh, yes. Now that's heavily juiced. So let me give you the juice. I think I might even would prefer waiting till that 7's on the board. Let's see what I can give you here for the Bills first half. Oh, there's no 6.5 there. Okay, so you're going to get the choice that I want. Okay, I'm going to give you the choice now. So you can have the Bills -6.5 at -130. Or you could have the Bills -7 at -105.
I still want that 6.5.
All right.
I know you like the 7.
Yeah, I think I'd rather push at a -105 personally. That's just and sit there with a -130. But your record is spectacular for a reason, so don't question it. All right, so then we are all done here. So now we can review our action. So where's the Bills game? Let me get there. God, sorry. And put a bow on this bad boy. Thank you guys so much for watching us here on the odds.com odds headquarters. Bebsy is on Bills first half -6.5 at -130. And that's at bet 365. All righty, let's do a final review of all the action. Lily Gunn, what a treat it is to have you rolling here with us. Man, I miss you. All right, so we'll go with Bebsy right now, sitting at 24.9 on the year, plus 13.50 units, sitting at 72.7%, ROI plus 40.91%, average line -114. And while we can't promise you winners, we can promise you honesty and record keeping, something that you don't get anywhere else, and something we're trying to push other people to do.